And good evening, folks. This is Christopher D. Wright. Welcome to a special welcome to the Bronx and Brooklyn Family Support Service Advisory Council Art Show Virtual. The event, as you know, this month is ADA 32, the American Disability Act, that was celebrated on July 26, 1990. Hope everyone is hope they had enjoyed their 4th of July. As you know, we are going to have a lot more parties coming in, a lot more events. So if you need to find that out, please make sure to always go onto your Facebook, Google, and check it out. As well as visit our website. We do have some events, including our Facebook page. So meanwhile, before we do start and proceed, we need to remind everyone the housekeeping rules, which is still always an event or a meeting. As a reminder, everyone, this is not a meeting. This is an art event celebrating the ADA 32. I do want to welcome both councils, the Bronx and Brooklyn, the double Bs, as we call them, the B trains. And they both stand for the Bedford Park Boulevard and Brighton Beach. That's what it stands for, BB. Before we do anything, as a reminder, everyone, every microphones except the chairpersons on Bronx and Brooklyn, everyone else must be on mute. Your cameras can be on or off, is your choice. The chat is located where you see the chat. Captions are also available if you click on it. If you want to look for your hand raised, please be advised that this is Zoom, not Ring Central. Normally you'll see in Ring Central the hand shows, but it's in where the facey little picture where the arrow is where your hand could be clicked. And then once you do that, we will see your hands up. As a reminder, we're asking everyone to please hold on to all your questions, including when an art event person is here showing their art. Please wait till they're all finished. We will let you know, and I will remind you those art event instructions later on. Please make sure, everyone, we do need to remind, this is not a meeting to announce stuff. If you have an announcement, please, for any boroughs, if it's for the Bronx, please send it to the Bronx Advisory Council. If this is for Brooklyn, you can send it to the Brooklyn Advisory Council email. Today, we're here to celebrate the ADA 32. And as I said again, I will repeat again, welcome to the Bronx and Brooklyn Family Support Service Advisory Council Art Show Virtual. Give yourself a hand without clapping, a sign language clap. And you can do both hands or one hand. Either way, it saves you clapping on that as well. So I do want to welcome everyone. We do have a decent turnout, and lucky this is recording. As you see, I am wearing my patriotic shirt. I know everyone else is wearing something nice, standing for the true justice and the Brooklyn Bronx way. And you know I'm going to have fun doing that. Before we do any procedures, and as we do a little dancing, a little bit of celebration, I do want to get a chance to both chairpersons to give them a little speech and welcome. I will start from heading up north to the Bedford Park end of the B line to the Bronx Family Support Service Advisory Council Chairperson Tina Vale, who's also a statewide member equal to Debbie, which Debbie will speak in a few minutes. Tina from the Bronx, you're on.
Thank you so much. I love your professionalism, Chris. It was very good and very refreshing. I'm just happy to be here to celebrate this annual art show with you, and especially the ADA 32. And if anyone needs assistance, you can always ask Chris about me or anything about the Bronx. But we are available at the Bronx Family Sport Advisory Council. Most of the time, our pages is with the Bronx DD Council, and they have all our information on there. Okay, thank you so much, Christopher and Debbie, for inviting me here. And I hope to enjoy the show, and I hope everyone else will get a chance to enjoy the show also. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. And Tina, we do want to thank you for using the Zoom. So therefore, because since our other guest star that is coming from London end, we want to make sure that he can see everyone from here on the screen because he has Zoom in London. So we hope to see him. Will be coming up soon. Right now, moving down from the next borough, as we move down on the B Express, or a little bit of local, but it goes express, down to the Brighton Beach end, is Deborah Greif, chair of the Brooklyn Advisory Council, also statewide. Debbie?
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Again, I want to thank Tina, my counterpart, the Bronx, to help us with the Zoom. First of all, I know everyone knows who we are. In case you don't, well, you can go on the Advisory Council's website. We have a Facebook page. We probably even have Twitter. But we're here to celebrate something very wonderful and important for us. This is the ADA is 32 years old. And we have to thank the late President Bush, that's Papa Bush, who did sign into law the American Disabilities Act. And because of that, we have been able, people with disabilities, no matter what kind, are able to live far more richer lives, and they're able to integrate and live in society the way we all should. Now, Tina and I both are parents, and we're very big, our hearts are, we advocate for families who have children with developmental disabilities. We try to make sure that their services are there. We try to help the best we can. And we do, our hearts are there. And Tina and I both have gone back many years together. And our big main concern is that the individuals who live with their families, but also the families, don't feel that there's nobody out there for them. We're there for you. We will be there to help. Our hands are there to help hold your hands so that we know how hard it can be. It doesn't matter what type of developmental ability your child has. Our hearts are with you. We're advocating, the both of us, because we care and we want the services to be maintained and improved to the best of the ability we can get it done. We're happy that we have an American Disabilities Act. For this whole month of July, it's going to be celebrated. You can look up on your local elected official. They may be doing something. All borough presidents are doing. Look at the mayor's office of persons with disabilities. They have a website and a page. Please look for them. Of course, your state senators, state assembly, your city council people, all of our elected officials will have some form of an event or be participating. So please, everybody, let's make sure we keep our ADA 32 strong. Let's make it stronger, and let's do whatever we can so that we all can live a very good life with quality. All right, I have made my announcements again, and I all know if you need anything also from the DD Council for Brooklyn, it's the opposite in the Bronx. We have the Brooklyn DD Councils, stands for Development Disability Council. We have their information on our website. And yes, we do also have the Bronx's Advisory Council information, because we feel that that we have to support each other and make sure we have the correct contact information, because if you're living in the Bronx or your child is getting services through the Bronx, we want you to be able to get through to the chair of the Bronx. And yes, Tina and I both sit on a statewide committee. We're one of 19 councils. What we represent our counties. I represent King/Brooklyn. Tina represents the Bronx. Our role is to, as I said, we're going to make sure statewide they understand we need these family support services. So with that, I turn it back over to our master of ceremony.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Right now, I'm going to introduce another guest star who just popped in, and I'm going to change my screen because I know he has to run. He's doing a lot of things with ADA 32, and I got the screens popping in. I'd like to introduce our Chief Accessibility Officer and Special Advisory, Carmel Q. Aurora. If I say his last name, I apologize. I'm still getting used to the last name. I finally got his first name. Q.
Quimel Ario, welcome.
Q, you there?
Thank you so much for that. Yes, I am here, although it's pretty dark in my office. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Chris. And thank you so much for inviting me and having me. I am so pleased to be part of this conversation, and happy ADA 32 to all of you. My name is Quimel Arroyo, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Chief Accessibility Officer here at the MTA and Special Advisor to the Chairman and CEO, Jenna Lieber. We are so excited to be part of this conversation with you all, because this has been a historic last couple of weeks for us in the disability community. Deborah, I couldn't have said it better myself. we are working tirelessly here at the MTA to ensure that all New Yorkers have the quality of life that they deserve. And that means that we are investing billions of dollars at the MTA to ensure that no New Yorker is stranded in their home or at their station, to ensure that every New Yorker, disabled or not, has options to move around their communities in their own time and independently. I have to say a special shout out and thank you to the entire Gray family, from Deborah to Chris and Anne, who pops out every now and then. Your voice is so welcome and so needed. I lean on you for so much, and all I have to say is thank you. And the work is far from over, but we have made some great improvements and announcement and investments. We are putting our money where our mouth is here at the MTA, dropping over $5 billion in this current capital plan to enhance accessibility. And we're not just talking about elevators and ramps. That's very important for people like me who use wheelchairs. But I know that you know that accessibility is so much more, Deborah. Accessibility is about delivering digestible information so that people with cognitive disabilities can understand what's being said. And two, they too can be independent as they navigate our systems. I like to say that I am working to ensure that everyone from people who live out in Montauk and Orient Point all the way up to New Haven in Connecticut have access to a transit system that meets their needs. So that's what we're doing here at the MTA. We're so excited to have partners like Deborah and Chris here at our side, and we're really trying to make it better tomorrow. So thank you all for having me. ADA 32 is going to be a great month of celebration, but I'd like to say we don't just celebrate ADA in July here at the MTA. Every day is Disability Pride here at the MTA, and we're doing some celebrations this month, and you'll get invited and you'll hear about them. We'll be having some webinars with agency heads who really do the work. I like to say that my team and I are just the facilitators of this conversation at the MTA, but we have an incredible workforce. My peers here at headquarters and throughout the agencies are so devoted to accessibility because they understand what it means for our system not to work for someone who's trying to get to work, who's trying to get to school, to an art studio, or to a bar at the end of the day, because that's what accessibility means. It's everything and everywhere. So in addition to those webinars, we'll be having some events here where we'll be spotlighting some of our employees who help us make accessibility come to life every day at the MTA. Not just people in my team, but people in Long Island Railroad, people in Metro North, people in throughout New York City Transit, and some folks that are behind the scenes, like our web content people, our people in development who put all the contracts together to spend all those billions of dollars for accessibility. So I am thrilled to be celebrating ADA 32, but I am so happy to know that every day is ADA Pride here at the MTA.
And Q, not so fast. I know Madam Chair, please mute yourself because I want to add this. Q,
Okay.
we did do a one victory also. We did do a settlement. We won the settlement. You want to add anything?
None other than to say that we are serious about accessibility, and we did propose a settlement for a long-standing 88 lawsuit here at the MTA, where we lay out a map, a plan to make our system-wide accessible within the next 30 years or less, if we can get there faster with better technology and other partners. The MTA has never before made this level of commitment for anything here, and we are doing it for accessibility to continue the pace that we are working on right now, and both in number of stations that we are enhancing and dollars. So we've made a promise and a commitment to our new partners, the advocates, who are now our partners here at the MTA, that we are putting the money to execute a vision and plan that we all agree that we so need and desire. So yes, thank you for that, Chris.
Yeah, because this is part, since, everyone is saying 8832, we just, everyone was congratulating. And I know Tina Vale from the Bronx was very pleased with it, and she's here as well. We do want to thank Tina because Bifor should be coming on maybe in a little bit, I hope, because I know there's been a little Wi-Fi issues connecting from here to, from the other end of the world to here. So, but we do want to say thank you, Carmel Q, because a lot of people have been saying to us that, a lot of people, that's why everyone's on mute, because they don't want to come say, Q, we love you and all that. But I think everyone was saying is to your team, we want to say thank you so much because we are getting things accomplished. We just need to work together and keep the peace and love together. And that's the key I think we all need to do. And I know you're around without any of the people. And you know, it's funny, if I mention his name, he pops in. So I want to thank you, Q, so much. I know you have to, in case you want to say hi to Andy Byford. And at least now he'll start crying too at the same time, because I know he's looking, he's going to start crying. But, and you know, you hear him. So let me
Hi,
say
everyone.
thank you.
Whoops.
Let me introduce, ladies and gentlemen, and look, you see, he doesn't have to show a shirt and tie. You know, that's the best part. I don't have to worry, folks, because you see, he wears a shirt and tie there, but he doesn't have to do here. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone's been asking about you for the like, saying, where is he? Where is he? Well, now you don't have to call the state or federal police. He's here. We don't have to call London's police force. He's here, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce, as you know him, as Train Daddy, but now we can also call him Commissioner Train Daddy. I give you Andy Byford. And Mr. Byford, it's all yours.
Hi, everyone. London calling. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
It's so great to be with you. Sorry, I'm a little late. And Chris, I said I'd call from my office, but in the end, I came home and I've had a hell of a job getting onto the link, but it's so nice to see everyone. Here I am. And it's great looking down the list to see so many friendly, wonderful, familiar faces. Obviously, Debbie, yourself and Chris, but just so many of my friends in New York. And a big warm hug and a big warm welcome or hi from London, my friends.
And
I'm
we
really
do have
looking
Ann
forward-
Menino saying hello to you.
Hello, Anne. How are you?
She's muted, but she's waving back. She's having
Oh, that's
she has a new tablet, but she's saying hello.
Very nice. So, yeah, just a few things. I thought I might just, Chris, if I may, just make a comment
ahead.
at the start. Yeah, sure. Well, look, I'm still following events in New York very closely. It's a place that is always and always will be dear to my heart. So one of the things I was most pleased to see was that you, the advocates, that you won the battle to get the lawsuit settled, and that the MTA has agreed to make now push on and deliver what Fast Forward promised, which is to make the system fully accessible. So I'm so glad to see that. I'm so glad to see that Fast Forward is becoming a reality and that we will make New York's system accessible to all. Because I remember when I arrived in 2018, that was one of the first things I said, along with modernizing the subway, reimagining the bus network. I remember saying on the steps of 2 Broadway at Bowling Green Station, the system has to become fully accessible to all. We can't be proud of a system where people are excluded. And I know the lawyers in 2 Broadway were taken aback when I said that. In fact, they were pretty alarmed, but it's the right thing to do. So I'm really pleased for you. It's your victory. It's your success. You should take a bow, all of you, because you've been part of doing something that's historic, absolutely historic. And that this will be your legacy for future generations, the generation that won the battle and made New York's system, hey Q, made the system fully accessible. So, work that we started with Fast Forward, that Alex Elagudin as the first ever accessibility as lead on my executive, the first ever senior accessibility advisor started off, and now my good friend Q is taking forward under Jano's leadership. So this is a massive, massive victory, and it's good for the MTA, good for Jano, good for Governor Hochul for doing the right thing. So Q, I salute you, my friend. We gave you the baton, you've taken the baton, and you're now going to take it forward. So congratulations, everyone. I'm so delighted for you.
Thank you, Andy Byford. And I think we all agree that things are getting done. We must work together and always keep the peace and love on this. on
definitely.
this. And I definitely agree because it is a great honor to work with Q. And that's why and I have to say, with Q and Jono there, and we continue to fast forward, we will continue to make everything ADA accessible and keep every person to travel to see different arts, shows, and things they like to see, and let them dreams come true. And that is always the key to keep the peace and love. And I love what Q just mentioned, from one end of the island, Long Island, to the other ends of where Metro North runs. We do need to keep the accessibility stronger and keep everyone, from people with seniors and with people with disabilities, to keep the strength up. I thank you so much. I'm just gonna move on to our we have other special guest stars that are here from here, so I'm just gonna change the
Excuse me,
screen.
Chris,
Yes,
we need to, I would like both
go
Quamel
ahead. If you
Aria.
two chair, if you both chairs want to say a few words, go ahead when I change the screen. Go
Okay,
ahead.
before we do the other addressing, please, everyone forgive me. Andy Byford and Q, I want you to introduce you to my counterpart in the Bronx, Tina Vale. She is the chair and she and I both go to the statewide. And she was very happy because Gun Hill Road on the number 5 train was accessible and she was there. And that was the last time, sadly, we had Edith
Edith
Prentice.
Prentice.
But Tina was there. She and I were sitting together. We were so excited because we both, see, a lot of people don't realize, besides our children with development disabilities, we parents get our own disabilities. So to be able to get on the trains with no problem, it's wonderful. It's not just the elevators or escalator. That platform was so easy to get on. So I wanted to introduce you to Tina. Tina, you please say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you very much. I do remember that day, Deborah, and it was very proud because the station didn't even look like the same place it had been years ago when I remember riding the trains when I was younger. So I was very thankful and very appreciative. And to Q and Mr. Byford, I thank you both for coming and just helping us out with this. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm so, trust us, we both, Tina and I, I'm gonna age me. I just, when we used to go by, even though I didn't live in the Bronx, I had family, and it was a very spooky looking old station, and the way you fixed it, but you kept a lot of the historic part, but you made it look beautiful. And I know what Tina's talking about because I used to be in the Bronx a lot with to visit relatives, and also that we'd go to the Bronx Zoo and other shopping. So to have another accessible, safe, and it's easy to get on and off the platform. We thank you, Mr. Andy Byford, and we thank you, Q, because you've also made sure when we bring up issues about, I tell you, if a platform is not correct, you do hear us. And Tina, they do listen to us. And one day I'm going to bring you to 2 Broadway with me. Okay? All right,
No
Chris.
problem, Deborah.
And thank you for I just wanted to make sure Tina met both of you, even though
Okay.
it's by computer.
Q, do you want to add anything before we proceed? Because you're very quiet. I know you have to run.
No, I just want to say, Andy, it's so good to see you. And you know, we grabbed that baton and we're running. We're running.
Good man, Q. You are the man. You're the right man to do it, my friend. I remember going around with you for the day and it was so insightful and it was so great. And one day I'm really looking forward to coming and having a beer with you.
That'd be lovely. Thank you, Andy.
And that's why we call it peace and love. Feel the love, folks. Before we proceed to the art part, and I know some people are coming in a little bit, that's okay. We're gonna I'm gonna ask I know we have 2 elected officials. Maria, Mark, do you have anything you want to say?
Happy Disability Pride Month and ADA 32 from Assemblywoman Helene Weinstein. I cannot wait to see the beautiful art show.
Thank you, Maria, and it's good to see you. Long time no seeking, as you know, her office has been working, Q, making sure everyone is up to date their information. So we do want to thank Weinstein's office, and they're just making sure that we're ready for that new procedure Omni in the future. I know we see an office, State Senator Roxanne Passad's office just popped in. Anything you want to say?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Javon. I'm community liaison for Senator Roxanne Prasad. Just very happy to be here. Very happy to be amongst you all, and I'm just excited to see what you guys have here to present for us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
and there's any other elected official representative came in? Just want to make sure because I saw some people coming in. Okay, so now is our favorite, it's my favorite moment and my favorite time. It's time for the art show virtual. Now, before I start, is there any of, I know some people came in late, and I know we have one artist here, which I Nicolized, but there are 2 or 3 people came in just a few minutes now. If they're part of the art show, can you please raise your hand or please put something in the chat so I know, so I can call on you? And if you have art, we will then put it on, we can make sure you guys can see it from the screen, which I'm going to stop my screen from here so we can see everyone. And I do feel like I'm in the Brady Bunch moment here, but it works. Oh, see, I can see everyone, even, okay. And I know some people are having a little Wi-Fi concern, so I understand that. Since I don't, I'm going to start with one person, and if he can please show his face. He is very famous. And I'm going to say, yes, he is famous. And I know Deborah and Ann knows him very well. Rodney, can you show your face for him, please? As he turns on his screen, and I'm gonna introduce him unless someone else has any other arts, but I'll say, there he is. And with that beautiful face, looking nervous face, which you'll get me later. Rodney, can you please smile? Thank you. And I can hear you.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone.
Yes. I'm going to share, as Rodney asked us, and he did ask permission from the Brooklyn Council side to share his screen of his art that he's been doing. Now, some of us, you may recognize him from other places. Yes, Rodney is not just a, he's he is an athlete for Special Olympics. He is an artist also. He's been very popular with his art. You may see him at the Family Support Fair in the past when they did the art contests and the fairs in Brooklyn College. You did see him at New Century Artists with Barbara Cathell. And you have seen him in doing a lot of the art shows. And I will say, Ronnie, you were doing a show, correct? And a little movie sketch. Am I correct?
Yes, I was in a movie called Good Time.
That's why I want to make sure. So as I'm sharing now my next step screen here.
Excuse me, you forgot one other thing.
Yes.
With Fred Astaire, Mr. Hankins, this is from your other mother.
Oh, the play that I did. Yes.
Rodney, you want to say a few words as I put on the screen?
I just wanted to say hi to Mr. Byfall. How you doing in the family?
Rodney, that's really nice of you to ask. I'm really well, thank you. And it's so nice to see you and to see that art. I remember that day really well. That was a special day in my time in New York. So my wife's well, I'm well. We miss New York. We will come and visit you at some point, my friend, and can't wait to renew our friendship.
Yes, I can't wait as well. It's so good seeing you, even though it's virtual. But I'm glad that you're doing well out there. And we be talking. We be talking pretty soon. Hopefully, when
and actually, I'm glad you two are talking because the first picture, as you see here, Rodney does have a picture with Andy Byford. And this was at our last art event in person, live at the Transit Museum, which we did have a lot of people attended, which I know Andy enjoyed that event really much. And it did encourage a lot of people with disabilities to come in. So we do, we want to make sure that. Also, in the past, Rodney has been drawing different things. Rodney, you want to say what some of your art is?
Yeah. Well, the first picture, which is the gymnast, which is really my favorite. Special Olympics New York wanted me to give a thank you to all the sponsors. So they wanted me to draw something. So since this is the 50th anniversary of Title IX, for the women, I just started drawing different sports events for women, gymnastics, figure skating, pairs figure skating, women gymnastics, and so forth, women's softball. And that was my way of saying thank you to everyone. And the reason why I like the gymnast the most is because of the elegance, the style, the way the women perform. And I think that was, to me, my best drawing out of all the others that I did for Special Olympics, for the sponsors and everything. The next picture is I'm sorry, Mikey Brennan. Mrs. Brennan, Mikey is a former teammate of mine. I had never met him because of the track club that I was in was a very big track club, but he was 8 years old when he came on the team out in Long Island. He is a Paralympic gold medalist. He won the gold medal in Reno, in the Reno Paralympic Games. And he was defending his title out in Tokyo. And so Mrs. Bannon, his mom, Facebooked me and asked me, can you draw something, of her son? And I was honored to do that and to send it out to the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, and they was going to ship it out and put it in his room out in Tokyo. So that's one of my favorites. Unfortunately, he came in 4th place in the finals, but I just heard from his mom on Facebook. She sent me a Facebook page that he's in London. No, he's in Paris for the Power World Championships, and he won the gold medal. And in the 1500 meters, and his time was 3 minutes and 52 seconds. So that was one of my favorites. So the next one is, everybody loves Nathan's. So I drew, I think it's Nathan's. Is that Nathan's, Chris? I can't see it because it's so small.
Yes, it is. The picture you're
Yes,
talking about.
it's Nathan's.
It's
Okay.
it's that's not just Nathan's in that picture, Ronnie. That was your first picture in when you were doing New Century Artists, and I have to tell you that art was definitely sold. But I'll say this: you have the Brooklyn Bridge, the
Dime
Ron-
Savings Bank.
thank you, as Deborah's
You're welcome.
backing me up, and Junior. So you had the best part of
Juniors.
Brooklyn. You had the best part of Brooklyn.
And the
Right there.
Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, I did say Brooklyn Bridge. And there was one thing you also left out, Rodney, on your left. As you see, folks, in that picture, I'll back you up, Ronnie, because you look a little nervous, and I can back you up. Don't worry. As you see, the Staten Island Yankees, the former Staten Island Yankees, were wearing that shirt. That was something what Special Olympics did with him, was when he drew, they made a shirt out of that. So we do want to thank that time the Staten Island Yankees that time as well. So he's been doing a lot of, arts and stuff. But I know you have one very picture that you've been working on also. And I know you've been coloring also race cars, correct?
Yes.
And you want to explain this? You want to explain?
Yes, that's part of the thank you for the sponsors for giving money generously to the fundraisers that we've been having for Special Olympics New York. And of course, like I said, since we're celebrating the 50th anniversary for Title 19 for the women in sports, I drew a picture of the woman swimming and the woman running. And I have the little 2 birds flying with the little coaster saying, thank you. Thank you for all that you do. And I hope we can have more women, not just men, but more women to get involved in sports and athletics. And I thank Donna De Ramona for that. She's the co-founder of it. And she's also on the Olympic Committee, and she's also a member on the staff of Special Olympics International. So I thank her for that. And I think that's it. I think, Chris, is that it?
That is correct, Rodney. That's
Yeah, that's
I'm-
it.
as you see, folks. Rodney does, and I can vouch. Miss Greif can vouch this, that Rodney came to Miss Greif before we did the fair and we did the art thing. He showed some of the Rodney's art, and we do want to thank Barbara Cathell, who you all may know her from not just helping with Heart Share, but encourage him to do more drawings, more doing different skills in drawing and events. But Miss Greif, you want to add anything before we?
Yes, I do. Well, there is a picture he took of me. I should have had it because Rodney painted a picture of me, our little like Yorkie pug munchkin.
Yeah, you have it there.
Yes, I know, but I can't get to it. I mean, it's
okay.
But we'll put it on Facebook. We'll put it on so everyone could see. But the reason I was very glad when Rodney, you came to me because you said, "Can I show you my art?" And I said, "Yes, of course." And you were so nervous, and I understood why. I said, "Rodney, art is how you feel and how you express yourself." Because I showed him that I could draw. I showed him some of my drawings, but I said, "You draw for fun, expression, and there's different styles, and your style is fine." And he's like, "Look, you looked at me, Rodney, and you were like shocked." I even said, "Yeah, Rodney, everybody has a way of drawing." And I encouraged you to go on. And what I did was, when I was speaking to Barbara Cathell, I explained to her what was going on and how you needed the help and support. And that's how we made sure she was there to help you, because she had the connection with the 20th century artists, and also when Heartshare did their art show. So I wanted to make sure that you saw that there was nothing wrong with your art, because that's what the first he said, "You're not going to like it. You're not going to like it." And I said, "You don't know that. Let me see." And you see, I studied art in high school, and they told us that it's not always how you draw, it's why are you drawing, and you're expressing yourself. So as I tell everyone, Rodney's my better behaved son, and he knows that I'm his #1 champion when it comes to his art.
As well as Anne, and she can unmute
And Anne
herself.
backs me up 100% too. And I am very glad that you're doing this art. Look how well, look how beautifully you did Andy Byford. And we will get the picture up, and we'll
Especially
send it
Byford can vouch that. He can
everyone.
vouch that.
Right, Andy, weren't you impressed with what Rodney did for you? Because I'm telling
was-
you, Rodney, you don't realize, right?
He made me look. This is how talented Rodney is. He made me look okay. That's a skill. That's quite the challenge. So good job, Rodney. You can be my official portrait painter forever.
Oh, well, Rodney, you got to draw another picture now of him. And
Hey,
this-
Rodney.
Yes, I want you to draw another one of him.
Hey, Cindy, how you doing?
Hi, good. I'm a friend of Rodney's from Pennsylvania, and he invited me today. I just
Okay.
wanted to let you know, Rodney, that I loved your artwork. And they didn't speak about the one, but I liked the couple skating. I really liked that one.
Yeah, that was part of the thank you for the sponsors. And so I drew that, and they loved it, and they shipped it out to the sponsors. I don't know whose sponsors it went to, but they enjoyed it. They enjoyed it very much, and they said that they're gonna keep in touch with it. I might have to do more. But I also have to thank you, because I told you about when my late mom, she used the oil paintings, which smelled awful, but she was really good at it. And I
Mhm.
was telling you the story about that. To make a long story short, I saw you drawing the coloring book. You know, you had your
Yes.
coloring book and everything. And I said, well, I used to do that, but I stopped. You said,
Yeah.
well, there's nothing wrong with it. So why don't you just practice getting used to just drawing in the lines and everything. And you bought me a book. And I still use that and I still draw. And I said, okay, I got that down. Now can I draw without,
Right.
the designs and everything? And
Right.
Cindy, there is a question for you because he's been talking about you a lot as well as, and I know he talks about you. But can you hold for 1 second? Because
Sure.
for a reason, because I have two elected officials want to read these questions to him,
Sure.
and I think you want to hear this too. And
Okay.
Maria Mark, who represents Assemblywoman Weinstein, she had to run, but she said your art is wonderful, Rodney. That's number one. The representative from Roxanne Prasad, do you have a question for him?
Not a question, but a comment of just
Go
how
ahead.
beautiful these works are. These are awesome, and just the inspiration that follows behind them. I'm very much very much impressed and everything else. Better than I could ever done. So it's beautiful, beautiful work.
thank you so much.
I'm very proud of you, Rodney.
Rodney, I'm cafelling. That's it. I'm cafelling. So everyone talk amongst yourself. I couldn't resist that.
Well, at least it's one thing I'll say
And
this.
Ann's cafelling too. We're both cafelling. So as we both say, like Linda Richmond on SNL would say, talk amongst yourself.
Because actually, just to let everyone know, Rodney is the only artist that came on today. And this is something, a little message that needs to be clear to everyone. It is nothing wrong to draw, even when you're at home, a park, or anywhere you go. Rodney, you can vouch this with me, and everyone can vouch with me. Art is a very way of encouraging everyone. When we did this event, and Mandy Pfeiffer can vouch with me as well, we did get things done. We did accomplish a lot of things. And, that showed a lot of kids from the early childhood, from District 75, all the way to your age, Rodney. So never, ever give up on your art. Even taking a picture of the brook, of anywhere in the city or upstate New York or anywhere, it's art. So Rodney is the only artist that did come today. And I know Cindy, I know you, I think we all agree we're really proud of him because he talks about you like, I know I was on the phone. I know I was on the phone with him for a good 45 minutes talking about you.
Oh,
And I told him to smile. And now I can do it, and I can say it
yeah.
on that.
Rodney's part of our family. He always will be.
It looks like, see, Rodney, as I told you, you have families, you have fan clubs. You got to feel that love in you. That's where art comes in.
Yeah.
You there, Rodney?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh.
I didn't even know if I should say anything. But yeah, I mean, I miss everybody, and I know who got a real kick out of this. And we miss him, and I think you know who I'm talking about because I just found out that. And the last time that I talked to him, I was saying, "How you doing? How's the family? How's your retirement?" That's Michael Massman. And unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got that from Facebook. And yeah, so we're gonna miss him.
Yeah.
And I think he saw some of your work. I don't even know if he got a chance to comment on it, the drawings that you did, the little drawings that you was doing on the book or not. But I was telling him that's what I was doing. I was doing some art stuff and everything because he was like, "What are you up to? What are you up to?" And he was saying he's being safe and everything. He was still playing golf, stuff like that there. But yeah, so when I found out about it, I was like, wow.
Rodney, we do have we have two people may want to ask you questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start with Tina Vale from the Bronx Advisory Council. Tina?
I just wanted to tell you that your work is fabulous, and I'm looking behind you and I see all your awards that you've won. So very, very nice.
Hey, I didn't know.
Very nice, Rob.
Keep forgetting that you
And I
Tina,
heard
that's
about-
his bowling awards and Special Olympics.
Yes.
I'm only his coach for some of it, but he really listens. He's really
Yeah,
good.
and I've heard about Rodney for years, so it's nice to put a face to it now. Very good, Rodney. Congratulations, and
But
thank you for coming and bringing your art.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm just glad that you get a chance to enjoy it. You know, we don't, get a chance to put it, out there like we used to, unfortunately. But we're gonna keep striving to see,
That's
to show it to
People
everybody.
informing too.
Yeah, because I want people to enjoy it.
Yes,
Um,
it's a good thing.
Dolores Khan, do you have anything to add in? Dolores Khan?
I am floored by the artwork, and what a contribution to the individuals, the special individuals, communities, that what accommodation, like appreciation of it. Thank you, Rodney,
Very well.
that you bring our cause out there, because people look at art and people see it. More than talking, they look and they see the picture and they say, "Whoa, what is that about? What does that mean?" So thank you.
Very welcome.
And I think if Ann Menino can unmute and say something and show herself, but she's hiding under that camera. Oh, now she has it. Go ahead, Ann, say something.
Hi, Rodney.
Hey, Ed, how you doing?
I don't see him. Hold on a minute.
We can hear you.
Yeah, but you can't see me. Anyway, Rodney, your art is beautiful. And I'm going to do very good work. And just keep up the good work. I'm very, very proud of you.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I love you too.
I love you too.
Okay. Say, Chris.
And Ann, not so fast. You want to say hello to Byford? Because we know she's been looking.
Yes.
Hi, Anne. How are you? You've been hiding from me. I've missed you on the last few calls. How are you, my friend?
I'm fine. I was busy. I couldn't make those times you were on the phone. But I miss you very much. And I hope one day you'll come to New York and we can all get together and see you and go out for dinner or for lunch or wherever. How was you in London?
That London's great. It's actually, the weather's actually been unusually nice, but it's been great. We've been plowing on. We've opened a massive new subway line, which the Queen opened, which was great.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, just pulling out of COVID, which is good. So life's good. And just plugging away, living the dream.
Good. Good hearing from you. And say, I don't see you, but just hearing from you. I hope we can meet one day.
Just so everyone know, Ann has a new tablet, so she's getting used to it. So
I always coming up.
She can see everyone else's face, but she can't see. Yeah. You can't see her.
Well, you can't see. I don't know why.
Because your camera is turned off. But if you touch the camera again, it pops up, and then we can see your face. But it's okay, Ann.
Okay, no problem. I'll just leave it the way it is. Okay, I'm going to mute myself now.
And just to remind everyone, Rodney is one of the only artists that came on today. And we do want to thank him because just for this, since this is recorded and duty noted, we did ask other individuals, and I know Tina can vouch with me as the Bronx Advisory, as well as Deborah, who's the chair of the Brooklyn. We did send this invite out. So all I can say is it's recorded and it shows that Rodney, you are a as a lot of the, I know I'm going to start making people cry, so I'm going to be very careful what I'm saying, and I know I'm going to be guilty.
Go ahead, let's hear this.
It's, Rodney has doing a lot of great art. Yes, he does bowl. He encouraged a lot of people, just not, he's also, very popular with bowling, and he's very popular encouraging people. And, I have to say, he's been practicing different things. We've been attending some of his shows, Rodney, some of your shows you've been doing. I know, because I know Ann's been jumping like for joy every time. He's been doing very well, and I have to say that it shows that if Rodney can do drawing, where is everyone else's drawing? It doesn't have to be a person with a disability. It could be any person. Encouraging the art is the strongest thing. Even a person with a disability. When we see in the past, when we did the art shows, the award ceremony, State of the Dress, the last one we did was where Byford was at 2019 in person. And the reason we did that because it was encouraging a lot of young kids who are in school to encourage the art. And I have to say, I did get a response from 5 people. They said they're sorry they couldn't make it, but I do have a message for Andy Byford. They miss you. They love you. They want to see Train Daddy. And the other thing I will say is a message from the both councils, Deborah and Tina. They're saying we're from the young children group. They are sorry they couldn't be here, but they are still continuing drawing. So thank you from the Brooklyn, and thank you from the Bronx. So it is still goes out. It is recorded. This will be on the part of our ADA 32. And I will remind everyone, please stay tuned for a lot of those events that are coming up in the month. And remember, July 26th is ADA 32. It is. You wish it was a federal holiday because then we'll take off that day, but unfortunately, no. But it's another way of saying happy ADA 32 to anyone, from a veteran to a person with a disability, and even the seniors. Because remember, some of them are still veterans. We still need to show respect to them. Doesn't matter which country they're in or state. We still have to show the courtesy. And I am wearing that flag for a reason. I stand for truth, justice, and the Brooklyn Bronx way. And that was a BBB moment there.
Hey, Chris,
Yes?
I'm putting my camera back on. Look what I found.
Oh, look what she found. Now I've got another art. Here's another art. Bring it a little up. We only
What?
see half of it.
It's big.
I know.
Help it. Is
That's
that
better. Now,
Can you see
Rodney
it
drew
now?
that, and I have to tell you, he drew Debbie, and that's our late dog, Munchkin. As Rodney knew, Munchkin was brown with black eyes, black nose, and always had a sad face if her mother wasn't around, or me.
Hey, wait, I'm going to show a real picture what Munchkin looked like.
Yeah.
You ready?
You see, even the chairperson has art. Tina, do you have any art too? But as you see, Ronnie does a lot of encouragement. I know he's blushing up a storm over there. I know he's going to get me later. I don't care.
Oh, snap. Okay, here she is. Can
Well, at
you
least you
see
see
her?
me. She's wearing a hat.
We did the breast cancer walk, and I had to carry her like that because everybody wanted to take her picture. She was in
What sort of dog is she, Debbie?
excuse me?
Huh?
What sort of dog is she, Deborah?
She's a part pug, part Yorkie.
Oh, wow, that's a
So
great
we used to call her, some people would call her like a porky, but I said, no, she's a tug because she pulls at your heartstrings. She's, as you see, she has this little hat on and she was wearing her pink sweater. We all had to dress in pink for the breast cancer walk. And I wished she could have lived even longer. I like when they can live long, but she was a fantastic, lovable dog. I mean, when she was an angel, everybody, even Anne was not afraid of her. Anne let her come in her house, and Rodney used to come in and goes, oh, and then she'd sit on his lap and she let you put, she was a lovable, she wanted everybody to love her. But the minute I said, I'm tired, I'm going to my room, she'd say, like, look at her room, bye, and zoom in my room. And then she'd be there on my pillow going, ha, ha, ha. So the only part, there's only one little thing we used to get frustrated. She used to snore in my ears because pugs snore.
Mhm.
That was the only thing, but otherwise, no, she was lovable. But yes, Rodney got her perfectly. Yes, Rodney, you got my baby perfect.
Yes.
So
And I just put in the chat to everyone. Rodney also has an art page on his Facebook. He has it. As every time he has a drawing, he does put it on his Facebook page. It's called Rodney's Art. And Rodney, as well as some of the arts that we had in the past, they're also available also on the Brooklyn Advisory Council's Facebook page as well. So if anyone wants to look at it, just Google it and it will automatically pop in. But if you visit the Advisory Council page, you will see some of the arts from now to the past, including the 2019, all the way to during the Family Support Fair when Rodney started his first one, which he actually did a logo on that. The logo he did that, he actually won twice that award. And that was the time he was wearing those fancy suits that you only recognize him.
well,
And
excuse
some
me.
people will say, but I have to say,
No.
But even
Did a
during the
great job.
advisory council in Brooklyn, he did do some drawing of the arts, and he did won something. Well, he won at least 3 times the award of Individual of the Year award, Artist of the Year award. So he has other awards, not just Special Olympics medals and other things, but he has received a lot of awards. So if anyone else has any questions, comments on Rodney's art, because he's the only one that came, or Deborah's famous art that she had with the late Munchkin and her.
Yes, well, I'm going to state this. We're going to do this again, but I'm also going to tell everyone, you can also take, some of the individuals would take photos. So if you also take photos and you want to show your photos of different parts of the boroughs, and also anything that relates to the ADA 32, we can do it every 3 or 4 months. So people can put this up so we can push the ADA celebration beyond the month of July. But I will also say one thing, Rodney, I am so glad you brought your art to me that day in the bowling alley. And I'm so glad that you showed me, and I'm so proud of you because you had on and opened up and spread out. And I'm so proud of you and your artwork.
And
And
soon
keep up the
next
good
year,
work.
you'll be celebrating your 15-year anniversary since you showed that to Debbie.
That's right. Yes, and we will make sure, but also everybody here, if you know anyone who likes to take pictures or, please, we have to push the American with Disabilities Act 32. And by the way, I have one big important question to ask Mr. Andy Byford. I know you have the new Elizabeth train line. Can you explain to everyone how you've made sure to get as accessible as possible in London? Because I'd appreciate if you could explain to everyone. Thank you.
Sure. So it's a huge line. It goes. It serves 41 stations. 39 of the stations are fully accessible. Obviously, meaning from the street to the train, fully accessible, 100%. No steps. Beautiful new elevators. And the other two, the 40th and the 41st, they're accessible from the street to the platform. So there's a very, very slight, we just couldn't get around it. They were on existing stations. You have to have a very slight assistance via a ramp, but there's permanent staff to help you. All the stations are marked up, you know exactly where to go. There's all sorts of accessible features built in. And, testament to the accessibility groups that worked on the project in its early days. In the very early days of the project, I'm talking about years ago, while I was probably still in Canada when this thing got started, it wasn't going to be fully accessible. Some of the stations were, but not all of them. And the accessibility advisors mounted a big campaign and persuaded the then project director to do the job properly and make it fully accessible. So Yeah, we're pretty proud of it. We've got really interesting features, including an incline lift, which goes like that, which is like a lift on its side that uses an escalator ramp. So it's very innovative, but the people love it, and I'm very proud of the fact that it's fully accessible. It's great. In fact, the Queen herself used an elevator to come down on that day, the 17th of May. She used one of the elevators, and she uses a stick these days. And she commented on how quiet and quick and smooth the lift was.
And I thank you for explaining that, because you see, when you came to us in New York, and I'm going to say truthfully, before you came in, we did not get enough help with making things more accessible. That's why they had to go to the lawsuits. And I just want you to know that how much we all appreciate everything that you've done, because it's so nice to be able to say, you know, this station, where we go, where on the platform where we're supposed to enter, it collapsed. And if we tell them there's a problem, now we're getting listened to. It is such a refreshing, and I know you came in, and I'm so glad. It's like you swept out the people who did not want to think first. And we all appreciate this.
Well, you're
because it's
very
a
welcome,
pleasure.
Deborah. You're very welcome. It was, to me, it's an absolute basic human right. It should have been done years ago. And of course, it wasn't just calling for funding to put in new elevators. We also had a big blitz on making the existing ones more reliable, making them clean, sorting out the signage. We appointed, trying to remember how many it was, 22 group station managers who had absolute single point accountability, ultimately to me, to provide an excellent service and to make sure that we got the app right. We set up the disability unit under Alex. So yeah, I was very proud of what we did in a very short period of time. And I just rejected the argument that was given to me, or you shouldn't say things like this because they're suing us. Well, why are they suing you? Because you're not doing the right thing. It was the right thing to do. I'm glad that we set it in motion. I'm so glad that the MTA has settled the lawsuit.
And that's why also I'm thanking you, because as you know, one of the buses that when we had at our old developmental center, we advocated, we had to go do a coalition of different advocacy groups as well as the community board, because we had to prove why it was needed. It took to get from Erskine to Pennsylvania Avenue 1 hour. I could have walked on the Belt Parkway's walkway path.
You know the truth,
20
Edith
minutes to
Prentice
half
can
an hour.
actually beat that in a new
Yes,
town
I know.
record.
With
It
her
would take 10
motorized chair,
minutes.
yes. But remember, I'm walking. She had the wheels. I didn't. And
You
even
mean
though I have
burn rubber wheels,
now,
as Andy would call it,
Right.
burn rubber.
I want you to know, I want everybody to know that when I say thanks to you, you got people to listen.
Mhm.
That's the first thing that helps everybody. It's when you just listen. You don't know how many of people who live in Bed-Stuy, in Brownsville, who know me, saying they missed you and they appreciate you because you're the first person. You didn't talk down to them. You talked with us. You asked them, and they all want me to tell you. They thank you so much and they miss you.
Well, it was my pleasure, Deborah. It really was. I mean, other things that we did. Do you remember we recruited a full team of people, people who had themselves had disabilities, including a wonderful lady, Jennifer, who Jennifer helped us with with making sure we got our language right. She wrote scripts for bus operators to make sure that we weren't saying, "Oh, can everyone move back because there's a wheelchair coming on board?" No, it's a person in a wheelchair. And so she went out into the depots, she did training, and there's lots of examples of that. So please do give everyone my best wishes. It's just a small part in the big machine, but I'm proud of the fact that with you, because it's with you as well, we kick-started a revolution.
Rodney has a question, and Rodney, you can stop playing with your hand.
Mr. Byford,
Andy,
the train system, does it run 24/7?
No,
It does not.
no, it doesn't. So, well, I'll caveat that. So generally, the tube, for and the same for the main line, they tend to run something like 5 a.m. until 1 a.m. So, and for 4 hours, we use those to do maintenance. But the caveat is that there are a number of lines that do run all night on Fridays and Saturdays. So the Central, the Jubilee, the Northern Line, and the Victoria Line at the moment run all night on a Friday and Saturday, but generally they don't. And that means that we can clean up and we can do maintenance in those 4 hours at night.
I hope that, any other questions, anyone? Cindy? Dolores Khan? Or Tina?
No, everything is great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
I really
hiding,
enjoyed
Tina?
it. I enjoyed this, Chris. This was very nice.
Okay. Well, since we are just coming in, let me re-put my share screen back on because I did a little trick that I'm going to
Okay.
say to everyone. Because if I say every thank you, well, it's going to be easy thank yous. I do want, and I'm just keeping it this way to make it easy. We want to thank everyone who attended today for both the Bronx and Brooklyn Family Support Service Advisory Council Art Virtual Show. We're sorry that a lot of the artists did not come. But if you know there's anyone knows who's been drawing, please, let us know. Let both, Tina, it's okay, the Bronx. If anyone's from the Bronx, they should let you know too.
Of course, no problem.
We want to make sure that both boroughs, it's very important that we make sure that 8832 is represented. It doesn't matter if you're not here in New York, but anywhere from here to London, right, Andy Byford, Commissioner Train Daddy?
That's right, Chris. That's exactly right.
But I do want to thank our special guest stars, Andy Byford, Carmel Q, two representatives from the elected officials. I know they had to run, but I want to thank them. I do want to thank everyone here. I definitely want a special thanks goes out. I want to thank Deborah, right, chair of the Brooklyn Advisory Council, but a special thanks goes out to the Bronx Advisory Council because we're using their Zoom account.
Yes.
So big thanks goes out to Tina Vale. So if anyone needs her autograph, you know where she is. Tina and Deborah, do you want to say anything before we end?
Okay, first I want to say, Tina, thank you for helping us in Brooklyn with the Zoom. We appreciate it. And thanks for being a co-host. And I'm looking forward to, we are going to continue more of our advocacy. And I also want to thank you, Andy, for I know you're in London. I know it's Wimbledon time, so I hope we didn't make you miss too many of the matches, but we're so happy that you came. Rodney, I thank you for showing your art again. And yes, I'm so glad I found that picture. What can I say? I'm tearing my room apart because I'm rearranging everything, but thank you. Tina, you have anything you'd like to add, my dear?
I just wanted to say thank you for asking me to join in with you. I appreciate it. It was wonderful hearing Andy talk about London. That was very interesting. I didn't know that they were so different from us, and I like that. But also, and Rodney's pictures were very nice. Thank you, everyone, for coming and showing up and being our guest today. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Rodney, for the invite.
Oh,
I
you're
love
welcome.
you.
I love you too. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you for
you.
everyone to be attending, and happy 8832. We
That's
still
right.
have time to celebrate, so let's enjoy the celebration. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, where am I going? Oh, there I am.
Thank you, Chris. Very good. You finished?